Ballymote area. We're taking a trip around the Ballymote Heritage Trail, and that gives us quite a few little shots of the castle, the park, and also a lovely memorial. And we finish up at an old ruined church. The whole thing is available on a map from the tourist information people, and join us on the trip. Onwards and upwards. Ballymote, meaning town of the motte or mound, lies about 20 kilometres south of Sligo in County Sligo. It is a small town with a population in 2022 of 1,711. The trail starts at the entrance of the Ballymote Town Park. The park entrance is almost next to the top oil service station on the R293. The first thing you come across is a pillar dedicated to the Fighting Irish 69th Regiment. The 69th formed as part of the US Army. They are from New York City and initially comprised mainly Irish immigrants. I think this is water trickling down from the inside. If not, it must be a dog cocking its leg up, and that is tall even for an Irish wolfhound. This memorial remembers the 9/11 atrocities and has, in a special display case, part of a beam from the World Trade Center. The Fighting Irish were among the first to respond. One victim of the attack, 35-year-old Kieran Gorman, was from County Sligo. The trail is 3.5 kilometres long and ends in a loop around the Emlaghfad Old Graveyard. And after that you walk back the way you came. The sound of crows was absolutely deafening. I'm going to do an impression of a pop band. 1, 2, 3, 4. Know it? Counting Crows. Behind this church is the Ballymote Abbey ruins and graveyard. Judging by the scaffolding, they're still constructing this church. I think it'd be great when it's finished. We won't visit these now, but we'll come back to them in a later video. There's my Gabby, tree hugger extraordinaire. This tree was supposed to be about 24 years old, but it seems a bit thin to me. a disused narrow gauge railway. And this is my boot for comparison. The Irish love of fairies. Here we have a magical fairy garden. Let's have a look. Now an Irishman who is a legend in Scotland and Glasgow in particular, Brother Walfrid. I will read the inscription on the plaque. Andrew Kerrins was born in Ballymote on May the 18th, 1840. He grew up during the famine and made it his life's ambition to alleviate hunger and poverty. In 1855 he left for Glasgow, where he became interested in charitable works being carried out by the Manist Order. He later joined, taking the name Brother Walfrid. Brother Walfrid was a born organiser. His efforts to improve the lot of the poor led him to become involved in arranging exhibition games for charity. Following one such game with Edinburgh Hibernians, he decided that Glasgow should have its own Irish football club. The new club was formally constituted on November the 6th, 1887, and the name Celtic was chosen to reflect the Irish and Scottish identities. The first game was played in May 1888. Since then, Glasgow Celtic has become one of the most popular and largest supported football clubs in the world. In 1892, Brother Walfrid was transferred to London, where he carried on his great charitable work amongst the Irish poor. In 1912, following ill health, he was transferred to Dumfries. He died aged 74 on April 17, 1915, and is buried in Mount St Michael Cemetery, Dumfries in Scotland. Brother Walfrid remains a powerful symbol of Celtic and encapsulates all it represents. What a great man. Ballymote station opened in December 1862 as part of the Midland Great Western Railway extension from Emlaghfad to Sligo. The current listed station building dates from 1875. It did have a passing loop, but this was removed, and the track now only serves one platform. There was also a goods depot, shed and goods yard, now all sadly demolished. The station won the National Best Station Award in 2004. This train is a 22,000 class introduced in 2007. 63 car sets were built by Hyundai Rotem and Tokyo Car Corporation. Maximum speed of 160 km per hour on a track gauge of 5 feet 3 inches. The standard gauge is 4 feet 8.5. This lovely tunnel takes us under the R296.
Oh, I'm Gabrielle, that's Graham.
We met this lovely little border collie called Ted.
Ted. Ah. Hi, Ted. Ah.
At this point we've reached Ballymote Castle. Built in the Norman style circa 1300 by Richard de Burgh. He was the second Earl of Ulster. It was in use until the late 17th century. Time to get airborne. Gabby was worried by another aircraft, but it was about 20,000 feet higher than the drone.
Well,
Let's check out the
you
castle.
can see it because I can't. Hello.
A safe landing. When you reach the road, you cross diagonally to the right and enter Margaret Gormley Memorial Park. Near the exit to the park is the ruin of a corn mill. Built by Sir Jocelyn Gore Booth in 1795, it burned down in 1941. Once through the Kissing Gate, turn right. At this point the road divides, although you wouldn't know because the map is useless and doesn't even show a divide. You take the right fork. In the distance, if you look near the top of the power pole, you'll see a white streak in the hillside. That is the Caves of Quiche. We went wrong here. We should have gone to the right. We didn't and took the loop the wrong way round. Didn't really matter, but the map isn't clear. We turned right at this sign. It was a hot day, and you can tell it was hot. They even switched the fans on for us. We reached what constitutes the farthest part of the walk, Emlaghfad Church. The first church was built on the hill in the 6th century. The current church on the site dates from the medieval period and was abandoned in 1818 in favour of a new church of the same name closer to the town. From here we carry on to complete the loop and walk back the way we came. Well, it's been a long old walk. It's certainly more than the 1 hour they and the map that you get from the tourist information, it's about as much as a handbrake in a canoe, but we got there eventually, even if we did take the wrong route. And now we're heading back into the town itself. About another 15 minutes we'll be back at the car. Time for a look around before the last leg. A quick look over the town as the sun sets, and a last look at the corn mill. So how was the walk? It was gentle, pretty and educational, and we would certainly recommend it. The tourist information people need to know that 3D maps, whilst pretty, are pretty in another way. Pretty bloody useless. On the map, the path drops behind a hill, and while hidden, splits at the start of the loop. You simply cannot see where the path turns off of the road. We hope you've enjoyed this little video of the Ballymote Heritage Trail. It has some lovely scenery and great history. As for the friary and its graveyard, we intend to do a video on the town itself and will include them in that. So please subscribe and leave a like. Comment to tell us what you liked, what you disliked, or what you would like to see us cover in the future. So it's goodbye from me, Old Hiking Geezer, and goodbye from Gabby, Mrs. Old Hiking Geezer. Onwards and upwards.